I don't envy you. Oh, all right. We're getting started. I don't know how long this is going to be. I am, like I said, I was like, my body, my mental state has just been beat up this week. So got my butt
Tough out.
handed this week.
It is tough out here.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yo, who plays?
Um,
You know who plays tonight?
what? No, what?
Thursday night football. Who?
Oh, Thursday night football. I don't know who's playing tonight. I'm not keeping up. I can look right quick. Oh, Texans and Panthers. And Panthers just kicked like the Saints' ass last week, so I'm assuming they're gonna be good.
And y'all just beat the crap out of the Packers like the week before, right?
Yeah, yeah, but I think Jameis Winston kind of reverted back a little bit. So yeah, I mean,
You know how that goes.
we kind of saw that one coming. So all right, let's see. Let me get this going into our events.
Well, you're already streaming it.
I'm already streaming.
It's not even 8:30.
I mean, we got to get it going, man. Got to get started. I mean, you still gotta. We gotta get this going. And it's 8:30 right now. So, oh come on. Now I gotta put the stupid link in our events thing. We really need we need a PC. We need an intern. We need an unpaid intern, which is okay because we're unpaid, so it's fine. Oh boy. Okay, and my internet is going weird. All right. Can I go inside this right now? And oh God, it's so annoying. All right. I'm also really interested. Add this to the post. It's taking forever. I don't know what it is with Zoom, but as soon as I start using Zoom, like my internet starts like tanking, like going really, really slow.
Might be the video taking up your bandwidth, which are
It shouldn't.
you have community college levels.
Right here, right here. You man. My I am thinking I am debating on like increasing like my internet. So I have like 75. I'm thinking about pushing it to like 100. Like
Especially if you're a gamer. You're a gamer. You need all you can get.
I mean, I'm a gamer, but I'm not an online gamer. So like I prefer um like just like kind of stuff you can do like RPGs and stuff. So I actually hate the online stuff. So all right, I think we're about ready. This is why I have to start early because it takes freaking forever to get things like up and going. So,
You know your record with early.
huh?
So we know your track record with early.
Oh, screw you. All right. Welcome to the Targeted Podcast.
Episode 36.
Episode 36. I think we've been doing this for over a year now.
I was about to ask if it is our 1 year anniversary yet. I think it is because I think we started last year in August, right? We started last.
Yeah,
August.
we last year in August. It took us like a month to get like the first episode out. So, but no, we've been doing this for a year. We've been doing this for a year. Nicholas, I appreciate you got the fresh cut going on. my hair is a mess right now, but
No,
whatever. We're doing this.
no hat today. No hat today.
Yeah, no need for the hat. He wasn't shout out the fresh cut. Shout out the
Refreshed.
fresh cut. Look at that. Look at that. Look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we're feeling it. We're feeling ourselves today.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. What's funny is that I actually have a haircut tomorrow. Um, so
Yeah,
yeah,
moved it
I
up
have
for
a haircut
celebration.
tomorrow, and we're off next week. So it's like my haircut's not gonna even be like fresh by the time we
It
come
won't
back.
even matter.
Yeah. So
But that
whatever.
was the problem. That was why I was wearing hats the last couple of episodes, right? Because I have my hair twisted, but I get it twisted like on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, twists don't last as long as braids do. So by Thursday, it's not. It's not.
Yeah. So do you have to get your hair retwisted? Like how often?
Well, so now I found somebody to braid my hair. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah, she did a great job. So now no more twists. We're just getting braided up.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's
It
up.
should last, it should last about 2 weeks at
2 weeks.
least.
Okay. Cool.
So
Good stuff. Good stuff.
yeah, man.
All right. So let's go ahead and get started, man. So we're just going to be a lot of major things that's happening this week, right? We had um the Haitian uh problem that
Immigrant
happened,
crisis. Might
immigrant
as well call it
crisis.
immigrant crisis.
Yeah, we always have immigrant crisis, but like this week is for Haitians and um just news about that. And then there's the Gabby Petito, is that her name? Um
I'm not even gonna try it.
Gabby Petito.
Tito. Yeah.
Petito. Yeah. Um so yeah, so there's that situation that's kind of happening this week. The Haitian immigration that's happening. I also want to talk about my experience as well. On a lighter note, that I went to my first bridal shower last weekend. So I'll talk about that. And I'm sure
Did
Nicholas
you
has a
enjoy
whole bunch
it?
of very nice, constructive things to
I
talk
just
and ask
want to know if
about.
you enjoyed your cucumber sandwiches.
I did very much. Thank you very much. So we had little, they gave us little, we'll talk about it. So yeah, let's talk about the Haitian immigration crisis. So as you guys know, Haiti tends to be on like the bad end of a lot of things, right? Like they just can never catch a break, right? Whether if it's not hurricanes, it's earthquakes. Like so they had an earthquake a couple of weeks ago that killed like over 1,000 people. I think maybe 2,000 people. I think. Um, they had their prime minister assassinated, right? Like people just charged up in his home and just killed him,
Oh,
right?
no.
Yeah. So like there's been a lot of just instability there and they just can't catch a break. And so naturally, a lot of people went like found their way at the Texas border, right? Um, to why do people risk it all to come to the United States, right? For a better life, right? And how are they
Sometimes
met?
is it better? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, comparatively, right? Like as all the of all the problems that we have here, right? I mean, and I have no problem like pointing out the problems. Like it's still better than most countries, right? Now it doesn't mean we should stop like trying to change and trying to improve because part of the reason why we're better off is because we keep trying to change and trying to improve our
yeah,
likelihood, right?
yeah,
So yeah, a lot of people who tend to like who are critics of us who are critical of society, right? Who are critics of us. Um, like, well, I mean, it's not as bad as like Venezuela or other countries. Well, the reason why we're better off is because we fight for it, right? So, not other countries had like a how many other countries had like a Martin Luther King or a Malcolm X or a slew of civil rights leaders to fight for inequality. So, but back to the Haiti issue, right? They've had a it's a rough run, and a couple of Haitian immigrants was able to kind of get away, made to the Texas-Mexico border, and they were met with
Dude, I
police with
cannot
like,
believe what they got met with. I mean, these guys, they have the border patrols on, they're on horses,
yes,
and they're pretty much just rounding these people up like they're cattle. I mean, they're just running them down with horses. And I was reading an article on CNN where a woman was saying that something similar, I guess, happened like 40 years ago.
yeah,
Um, and they were out there, again with the horses. She's like, history is just like repeating itself. And it's horrible. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? It's crazy just how differently they get treated. Obviously, I mean, you know why, right? Darker skin and all of that.
yeah. We have
Then
a
the
problem with colorism.
other, right? That's kind of where I'm coming at it from because you have the situation in Afghanistan, and a lot of people came over here from that country, and it's almost like we kind of just welcome them in. I didn't really hear too much about them, trying to deport these people or anything like that. We kind of just like welcomed them in, gave them asylum.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I would say the Afghanistan situation is a little bit different because United States kind of totally effed that one up, right?
uh,
Like, yeah, totally effed that one up. So it's kind of like, yeah, we got to do it. You're right though. There definitely seem to be more welcoming people, um, to kind of get people over, from Afghanistan. There's always been like just a rough time with like immigrants earlier. And
yeah.
one thing I will say this is that I mean, we've seen skirmishes go along the border before, but I've never seen like that where they're like on horsebacks, like literally kind of just a
I mean,
symbolism of like
yeah.
white, like lighter skinned people trying to whip people while on horseback. Like it just like have they done this before? That's kind of my question before. It's like, how long does this happen? Like this can't be the first time, right?
No,
So
like I said, the woman, was talking about how it happened, like some
yeah,
years ago. So I
yeah.
mean,
I mean, we definitely need better immigration reform policy, and
yeah,
um, it's unfortunate because we're not going to get it. Like
that's the thing is like, it's like the system seems to be built to handle immigrants as far as like your situation is like you've done the paperwork or
yeah.
it's made to handle like that trickle in of
Well,
done the
they put a
paperwork,
bunch of bureaucracy there, right? A lot of
you know.
bureaucracy in place to
Yeah,
get in this country.
I mean that's anywhere. I mean, that's, but the thing is like what happens when you have these emergency situations where
Yeah,
there's a bunch of people coming over. Now we're just like, you got the immigration camps, you heard about, some time back about like ICE and, how they're just putting these people in camps and the horrible conditions that they have to live in.
yeah,
And half the time they just send them back or whatever. Like, it's got to be something that can be done to where, the people get processed and you find a way to
yeah,
integrate them into
yeah.
American society.
I mean, look, this is gonna sound a little sad, but it's a supply chain issue, right? Which
Oh,
sounds messed up. But we we can totally fix this issue. We're the richest country in the world, right? If we want to, if we can send, you know, an $80,000 like drone to shoot like a $50,000 missile for people that are making like $2 a day, right? We can fix this, right? We have to kind of want to choose to fix this, and um, I just don't think they do. And the darker the skin tone, the harder it is for some reason, right? Like it still blows my mind, like just seeing that imagery, right? Um, to see if that's okay. And just this week, right? So, a Biden administrator resigned, right, in
yes.
protest out of what's happening because the Biden administration was trying to forcibly put these people forced them back to Haiti,
Yeah.
right?
Throw them on a plane
Um,
and force them back. Yeah.
yeah, and right. I mean, obviously those guys they don't want to stay there, but at the same time, I think we can do better, right?
Yeah.
And we choose not to do better. So it's just frustrating to watch. It's sad to see. Um, yeah, it's it's just crazy. Like,
Yeah.
um, like we have we can do better. We can do right by these people. We can kind of just. I mean, there are lots of problems within our country as it is, but like we can we can help others, right? So,
It's
um,
definitely not easy though. I mean, because
yeah,
because I'm just reading the articles before coming on tonight. I mean, you
yeah,
have people saying that like when they made it over here, that like they said, that they get into the immigration facilities, and the guy described it as hell.
yeah,
I was saying that they were given a burrito and a bottle of water a day. Like that was it. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I I don't think you can just simply solve the problem by throwing money at it necessarily, but
No,
you can at the very least like make sure they're fed. I mean,
yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? At least it's little stuff like that. I mean, you can feed them
yeah.
very least.
I mean, the refugee crisis is been a crisis that has been going on for just since the beginning of time, like since wars have started, I suppose. Um, there is no real solution to kind of how to fix this. And I mean, uh, man, it's hard to talk about, to be honest with you. Just I keep thinking about that scene of like a bunch of people stuck under a bridge.
Bridge,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Um, again, them going way out of their way to to get over here, and that just like it's frustrating. It's heartbreaking.
So
Um,
let me ask you this, and because you're were you born in the States or no?
yes, I was born in the United States. My family's from Nigeria, so they immigrated from Nigeria.
Did they ever give you any insight into that process? What it was like to immigrate?
So not really. My dad, so they came for school, right? So I'm sure they came in under like school visas and whatnot. And we actually talked about this a little bit in a previous podcast about the civil rights era and how the
Mm.
immigration bill like passed after that and allowed for a lot of other immigrants, Africans, Indians, Asians, a lot of those immigrants to migrate over and work. Um, so they were along those lines. Now they were kind of, I wouldn't say they were escaping, right? But there was a brutal dictator, they called him a basha there. So they were running away from that. Well, I won't say running away, but they were getting away from that, and they came here for education. But they were able to have an easier set because they were able to work, right?
Mm.
Um, they were well off enough to have education there and to come over here to get higher education here. Um, and that's a different scenario than like what you see with the refugee crisis in Afghanistan and here, where these guys' lives have just been uprooted, right? So,
And it's
um,
a lot, like you said, it's a lot that's going on. So I'm just looking. So there were a lot of refugees after the 2010 earthquake.
yeah,
Um, and then after that, it was like, they're also coming here for economic reasons, like the economy crashing, like during the COVID crisis
yeah,
and all that stuff. So, for years after the earthquake, Haitians were granted temporary protected status here in the States.
right.
And then after the assassination of the president, Jovenel Moise, I'm probably saying it wrong. He was
Yeah.
assassinated in July. So I think you said that. I don't know. I think you said the prime minister or something like that.
He's a prime minister, yes.
But well, at least according to this, it was the president that was
Oh,
assassinated.
okay, president. Okay. I mean, I'm sure you're looking it up, so I'll take your word
Yeah.
for it.
So and then there was another earthquake in August. So after all that happened, it was before the assassination, the Trump administration had let the temporary protected status
Yeah.
expire. So then after those events, the Biden administration put the temporary protected status back on. So the article is kind of pointing at one reason that a lot of folks are migrating back here is to try to claim that status once again.
Ah.
So there is definitely something to it, but it's only, according to the article, like that TPS is only applicable to people who are already here in the States. But they're trying to see if they can get on there too, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how they handle it, man, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, a Biden official like resigned. So
Yeah.
um there's that they kind of have to figure out. And yeah, it's just a very heartbreaking scenario that's going on right now. So
What's interesting too, a slightly different angle, is how this will be used against the Biden administration in the next election, right?
yeah, so
It's going to get tore up over it. And I bring that up because something was left on my door the other day. Like there's the governor's election is coming up in Virginia,
oh
right?
God, yes.
And so the ad on that was left on my door was basically saying what did it say? Like, while Terry McAuliffe was in office, rape went up by such and such percent, crime went up by such and such percent. And it's like, are you trying to say the man is responsible for an increase in rapes?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to say, what specific policy did he implement that allowed rapes to happen? Right. I mean,
like these advertisements are just ridiculous. So I can only imagine what they're going to come out with. When Biden runs again for office, right? It's just going to be you couldn't handle it. Trump would have just locked the country down.
Oh yeah. I mean, some of the Instagram pages that we follow too, showed like the whipping of like these Haitian immigrants, and then they showed like a Biden's like face, like by like the juxtaposition of the two, and I'm like, what does one have to do with like the other? Like that makes no sense. And would Trump have handled this any better? Like honestly, right? So, it
would have been something extreme.
Oh my God. I kind of don't even want to like
you don't even want to think about it, but I just
about how he would have fucked that one up. So let's
see, the next election is what, 2024, right?
2024. But before the next election, there's another big one. That's the
Senate.
Yeah, Senate and House, right? And like in years of like non-presidential elections, like off years, right? Democrats tend to lose, and they're already poised to lose like the House, right? They don't have a supermajority in like the Senate either. So like yeah, so they're like they have it's tied 50-50 with Kamala Harris being a tiebreaker, but at the same time they have like a bunch of moderate Democrats that are that kind of hijack what needs to be done, right? So
I'm already curious to see what they're going to do with this. Was it the budget ceiling? I think
the debt ceiling, right?
Debt ceiling that just passed in the House. So I'm curious to see.
Oh, they already say they're going to torpedo it in like the Senate. So I'm curious to see if someone's gonna. I'm curious to see if someone's going to step up and be like, F the filibuster. Let's like pass this, right? Or not.
But it just goes down. I swear, like every other year, it's like government's about to shut down over something like.
Oh yeah, it is getting out of control because they're using it as a political tool, right? I mean, one of the things is our debt ceiling or our deficit is going up, right, continuously. It ballooned under Trump, right, because
The wall.
Well, because he cut taxes for like corporations, right? So if you're taking money out, right, these
I mean,
corporations are worth a lot more now, but no one's really paying taxes, so deficit's going to go up. And of course, you're
if
never
he
going to cut the military
taxes,
budget.
if he
So,
taxes, I didn't notice because I sure enough paid more.
well, that's the thing. People like you paid more, right? People like you paid more, but others didn't, right? So, yeah,
Ridiculous.
that's kind of part of the problem right there. But yeah, it's and we kind of switched topics a little bit in terms of elections, but it's curious to see how this is going to affect the next couple of elections. The next election is probably going to be the most important one because Democrats need more support to be able to push their agenda. But at the same time, I don't think they're doing a great enough job pushing their agenda now, to be honest with you. So, which is really unfortunate. Um, like, I'm sorry, marijuana is long overdue to be decriminalized on the federal level. Like, it's
Yeah.
like long overdue. We're way behind on that.
But I think, I mean, you know what it is, though? I mean, COVID just took over everything.
Well, there's that, right? COVID did take over everything, but at the same time, like they fought hard for this majority, and I would like to see them do more. It's unfortunate to see because what happens is that they go for these bills like this infrastructure bill that they're trying to pass right now. It's being held up by like a handful of again moderate Democrats, right? Um, and they don't want to get rid of the filibuster, but like they
Me
should.
too.
They should. Like
I mean, low key, I mean, we need the infrastructure bill, the improved
yeah.
infrastructure bill is something that's needed too. I
Yeah.
mean,
No, yeah, they do need the infrastructure bill. I think if Biden can get that passed, then I think he'll be in a pretty good standing, but we'll see. We don't know.
yeah, yeah,
I think it's definitely gonna work against him with the debt ceiling coming up because you have the debt ceiling and then like a $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. So I can totally see someone trying to torpedo the infrastructure bill because of the debt ceiling. Of
yep.
course, the people whining about the debt ceiling now wasn't whining about it a couple years ago when when taxes went down. But yeah, that's a different story. Okay. Shall we get to the next topic? All right. So Gabby Petito, right? I don't
Yeah.
think I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but so I believe she was a TikTok influencer, right?
Yes.
Um, and she was reported missing,
Mhm.
and her body was found
It was,
recently.
yeah, it was
Huh?
just
Just found. I don't remember where it was found, but it was found recently. And I mean, first and foremost, your heart goes out to like her and her family, right? The story is that like her fiance or husband may have been involved, right, in this. Um,
well, I mean, that's what they're alleging. I
yeah,
mean,
well, so
like, yeah,
this
they were
the news came out today actually that a federal warrant has come out for the guy's arrest,
because
right?
he hasn't been cooperating with the cops like at
Well,
all.
he's missing.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
missing.
you just making yourself look bad.
Yeah. So
And then
he went
you have
missing.
people saying that they got in some sort of fight. The cops had to break it up,
Yeah.
and then after that, she goes missing.
Yeah. So
It's really sad what happened for sure. Like,
it
and the
is
fact
sad.
he has been, I don't know if he went on the run or they just didn't arrest him based off suspicion. Like that's
Right.
kind of weird to me. Like why? Because they were like he's not answering any calls or communicating with the police. So if that's true, then that means that you were able to reach him, you knew where to reach him. So why not just arrest him? I mean, again, I'm just putting it
Yeah,
out there.
well, I think there was a time where he was a person of interest, and then he's not. So now he is again. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, your heart goes out to that and the family. But when we were talking earlier, right, about like what we're going to talk about, and I think we were going to talk about this. I initially was like, I don't think I want to because of the next topic we're about to get into. This country has kind of like a white girl syndrome, right? Like when a missing white person happens, right? It becomes like the national news.
Find her, save her. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing I thought was interesting was do you know that remember the guy that did Cops? That TV show Cops, like the host of that?
Wait,
Um
the cops are unsolved mysteries. I
I
thought it
think
was
it was Cops. Um he did the voice of Cops or whatever, and he like I forgot his name, but he I just read an article. I just saw an article that said that he vowed to like find like the fiance. And I mean, that's nice of him, but at the same time, how many other people of color have gone missing, right? Um,
yeah.
and like even last year, so I'm reading the CNN article. It said about up to 90,000 people, I believe, went missing last year. I think. I hope I'm not misleading that. Don't quote me on that one. Because that seems really, really high, especially if we're supposed to be in shutdown last year. Um, but it's truly amazing how disproportionate like it is, like who gets the national attention and who doesn't get the national attention. I want to share my screen for like a brief second about this too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so this is a CNN article, right? And it shows um like the number of missing people, active missing people, and the share of the population. So African Americans, Black people, make up 31% of all missing people reported, right? But only 13% of the population, right? The only other demographic that has that, like, that has like a larger disparity between people missing and the total amount of people in the population is Native Americans, right? Which they only make up 1%, but 2% of the people that are missing, right? Um, this is a 2020 case. So 90,000 seems about accurate, right? With
Yeah.
the amount of people seen missing, which kind of blows my mind because we were supposed to be in lockdown all last year. So it's truly amazing how disproportionate it is. Um, and yeah, I mean, go ahead and just speak your truth on this and like what are your thoughts?
It's funny to me because like I wonder because there are a lot of missing persons cases out there, right? And I feel
Yeah.
like them should have some sort of spotlight, and unfortunately, they don't. So
Yeah.
I just wonder like what makes this case so special, or what makes any case so special that it gains like national attention, right?
Yeah.
I just don't understand what made this case so special. Is it because she's a TikTok influencer? I don't know. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
and it's upsetting to me because you scroll through your news feeds or you look at different things or whatever, and it's like there's a black kid that just went missing, I think from college or something like that.
Hmm.
Silent. I never even silence. You know what I mean? And so it's just I just don't understand what the difference is. You know what I mean? It's believe me, like it's a tragedy what's happened to her and her family. Like
Yeah.
I can only imagine how they feel. But at the same time, it's like, why is this captivated the nation? Everybody's talking about, this girl or whatever. So I don't get it.
I think we know why,
Yeah.
but
I mean, yeah. And that goes back to I wish I could remember the name of the movie. Um there was a slave movie that was shown like way, way long, a long time ago. It basically cast like black people in a horrible light,
mhm.
white people in a much better light, and it's been used to that because of that movie. Like that
Mhm.
same thing has continued in Hollywood for years and years and years and years. I wish I could remember the name of the movie because it was something that I learned about some years ago. It was like when cinema like really like first started. It was like early on. It was like
Yeah.
early, like, I know you know what I'm probably I think you know what I'm talking about. I just can't think of the name of it.
The movie or
The movie. Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna look something up real quick.
The Sound of Music? Is that it?
What?
What movie are you talking about? A specific movie that
It was a specific movie in black. It was in black and white. I mean, it was
not
like one
Sound
of
of Music?
the earliest motion pictures available.
Oh, okay. Like it was a silent film, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I don't remember this one. So the guy that I was talking about earlier, by the way, his name is John Walsh. He's the cops host. I
Mhm.
don't think he said specifically that he will search for her, but he did say that he criticized the police and said that the public will locate Gabby Petito's on the run fiance. So I don't think he himself he is gonna feature it on a show called The Pursuit. So
Okay.
there's that.
Mm. I'm trying to find it now, man.
Mhm.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I
Don't you
cannot.
hate when that happens when it's just
I
right
know. Like,
there?
I was really like trying to make a really good point with this movie or whatever because you look at some things historically. It was just like because of that movie, like a lot of white people just like that's when they think of black people, they thought of that movie and it just like carried over.
Yeah, no, I see what you saw. Was it? There are actually a few movies that were like that, like that talked about like slavery and whatnot.
Mhm.
Um, ugh, I'm not sure. Wow.
I'm gonna find it before. I feel like I'm gonna have it like right after the episode.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Um, but yeah, I mean, again, it's a frustrating thing, right? Just like to hear and see.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Oh yeah.
like when I think about it. So
Yeah. I just but it is something about like saving certain people
yeah,
and not because you look at the refugee situation, right?
yeah,
Haitians, they're putting them on flights like ASAP.
yeah, yeah, right. It's crazy. You're still looking for it, aren't you?
I believe it's called Birth of a Nation.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I got you. That was okay. So that was oh my god. So that was the one where they talked about um the South trying to secede from the nation
Yeah.
from the Union, and they essentially just rewrote history,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it became like the basis for so much stuff. Obviously, like no actual black person was in the movie because it wasn't allowed back then.
Yeah.
So a bunch of people in blackface, and anybody who was portraying a black person, I mean, they were like animalistic,
Yeah.
super, real aggressive. And it was like, they had to save, women and children from these black people. They try to rebel. Yeah, it was called Birth of a Nation. Came out in 1915. It was like 3 hours long.
Yes, I do remember.
But if you there's like studies on about that movie and how basically it just because of that movie that is that put in a lot of people's mind like what black people are like and just kind of informed a lot of that stuff. So
Yeah. It's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate.
yeah, it is, man. It is.
Yeah. No, thanks for kind of reminding me of that. I thought that that was possibly the movie that you're talking about. I couldn't remember the name myself. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're
um
trying to put y'all on game here, man. We don't just talk about stuff. We teach. We teach.
yeah. This is also an educational channel as well. When I was creating the event, it was asking me like what type of event is this? I put networking, but I probably should just put educational.
I usually try to say like entertainment or something like that. But
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of entertainment, let's talk about what I did over last weekend.
yeah, let's
So Nicholas has been waiting for this. What's in that mug, Nicholas?
It's just water. Okay, for everyone to know. Okay.
Oh my god! I think I still
Should be
have like
grateful
the
considering
bag
how
that they gave me
we
too.
gave away this game last week. But
Oh,
water.
apologies.
Yeah, let's get into your
Let's
cucumber
get
sandwich.
into my thing. So, um, I went to a bridal shower last week, and one of my closest friends in DC is getting married. We met when I first came to DC. We worked at the center together, and we've just been like really just good friends. Just one of those people that like just has your back, right? Um, I mean, and friendship like that is just rare. Like, someone like you that just has your back. You know, if you call, they have your back. You have theirs, and whatever and whatnot, right? So, her wedding is actually in November, and I'm actually we're gonna. This is what we're calling it.
Are
I'm
you
actually.
are you a bridesmaid too?
The name is actually Bridesmen.
Yes, so you're a bridesmaid.
I'm a bridesman. She literally texted me. I was like, "So what do we call you?" Because I'm gonna be standing on. It's definitely an alternative.
That's cute. That's really cute.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm actually gonna be a bridesman. Out of wedding. When she asked me if I wanted to do it, like and stand on her side, I mean, it's like one of my closest friends. So I'm like, absolutely, yeah, absolutely, I'll do that. As long as I don't have to wear a dress, which I don't. So.
Yeah, does she pick out your outfit too? I mean, how does that work?
No, I'm gonna be wearing a suit. They were joking about like whether I have to carry a bouquet or not.
Yeah,
So
yes, it will.
they're calling it a brocade.
You're gonna walk down with some flowers. Right.
We'll have to see that. We'll have to see how that works.
We'll have to see means you've already agreed. I already know that. You don't want to say it on camera, which is probably that's fine. I know. I know.
I
And
doubt that would be the case.
what are the colors of the wedding? Pink and purple or something?
No, I'm wearing a gray suit.
I know that'll go perfect with a pink. Pink.
Nicholas has been. I told Nicholas about this earlier today. He's just been writing it.
I consulted with my team.
Oh my god. Oh man. No, but I'm super honored to go. But I went to her bridal shower, um, last week, and obviously it was the first time I've ever been to a bridal shower. Um, Thankfully, I didn't have to plan it because I wouldn't know how to plan a bridal shower. So, and apparently, you know this, because you're married. She can ask like, did your wife have a bridal shower and a bachelorette party?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you? I mean, guys don't have groom showers. No, the bachelorette or the bachelor party, right? So she's having a bridal shower and a bachelorette party.
Are you going to the bachelorette?
I have no idea. She did ask me about it, so I have honestly don't know. I will say this about her. Oh, my boy Edo. Edo's in the building. Well, he just retracted his message, this little douche. Oh, Edo.
I made a typo, man.
Whatever. No, he literally said, "What's up, gentlemen?" and then he deleted it. And then he says, "Good evening, gents." What up, Edo? What's up?
So Edo, why don't you start a survey on the group text and see what color flowers that he's going to be taking down the aisle.
So Edo, since you just kind of just jumped on, where's Nicholas? Nicholas, where's your gold chain? That's hilarious. Edo said, "Nicholas, where's your gold chain?" Edo, since you just jumped on, I went to a bridal shower for the first time like last week. I'm gonna be in my friend's wedding, sitting on the bride's side. So that's gonna be fun. And first time at this bridal shower, they had all these bridal shower games and whatnot.
That's what I want to ask about. So
yeah.
like because again, so when my wife had the bridal shower, What did we do? I think we just had some drinks somewhere. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Well,
said,
this one was pretty good. Like, I mean, I say this one was pretty good. Like, I know how to compare to others, but I mean,
I'm just thinking about the movies, right? So I mean, the movies that I've seen with bridal showers, I mean, they're eating like penis shaped cakes and jello and
yeah.
have
I
have
will. I will argue. I will say that my friends are very mature, like very mature, very kind of regal people. They were talking. I was talking to a group of people, and they're in one lady there was talking about how um men think she's like men don't like her because she's too independent and whatever, and they're just complaining about men. So I was like, okay. And they're talking about Candace is like, my bridal shower was girls only.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't mind going to a bridal shower. So no,
It's 2021. It's
it's
2021.
2021.
Eat
So
is
I went to a wedding in London, right, for a friend of mine. And the best man was a woman, right? Um, which is really interesting.
the like best lady. That what
Yeah,
you
I
call
mean, I guess they call it the best lady or whatever, or the maid of honor. Like, I don't remember the bride having, well, I think she did have a maid of honor, but the best man was a woman, right? And funny story about that, not to call anyone out, but the reason why the best man was a woman was because the best, like the groom, couldn't like choose between his two best friends to be the best man. So he chose the woman. And it was so funny. It was so funny because the two guys were super pissed like the whole weekend. Um like
feelings
they
hurt.
yeah, they were like ushers, like down the like. I mean, it was so funny though. They're acting as glorified ushers and like kind of guiding people towards their like seats and like handing out like the itinerary, like I say the itinerary, but I don't know, like the program, right,
Okay.
of like the wedding proceedings. So they're pretty upset about that, which I thought was hilarious. But it's a good
Let's
wedding.
get back to the shower.
Let's get
So
back to the shower. I'm
because again,
trying to
this is
see like
something
because I
that
got like a bridal shower like bag, and I'm trying to see where it is.
yeah,
Like,
you should bring that
um,
because
huh?
I feel like you should bring that over. But I feel like having you going to a shower is almost like seeing the inside of the women's bathroom. Like it's just something that you just
What have I
never.
learned?
Yeah,
Is that what you're asking? What have I
what happened?
learned? What did they do? What happened?
You know what I mean?
I
Is
mean,
there really cucumber sandwiches? Is everybody like drinking like little tea with their fingers up, and everybody's just like, what's
yeah.
going on?
I will say this, what it was, which I thought was I thought it was pretty solid. They had these games about how well knew the bride. So you play these like, so they had these little games where you fill out like
Little cards or whatever.
like little cards or whatever. And like, so like they showed pictures of like where she and her fiance has been, right? And they,
Okay.
and you're supposed to guess like, where was this picture taken and whatnot. Um, and I didn't do well at that in that game. They they had pictures of I mean not pictures. They also had questions of like, what does she prefer to do or not to do, whatever. I did better in that game. They also had something that was pretty. I thought was pretty cool. Um, where they had like little. So she's Asian, right?
Yeah.
And they had like little sections of like food and drinks everywhere. So there's a section that was like catered to like Asian foods, and they had like a dumpling and like a skewered like chicken. It was so good.
Okay.
The food was
Well,
super good.
food sounds good at the very least. I don't know about the entertainment.
The entertainment. I mean, there was no cucumber shaped food to eat. If that's what you're asking about.
I only know what the movies show me. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, are you sure it's a bridal shower or it's a bachelorette party? I'm just saying.
Again, I only know what the
Yeah.
yeah.
No, what I thought was pretty funny was that some of the women complaining about like just guys and uh the bros in Arlington. So right, there's this yeah, this bro culture. And I was asking her, like, I mean, Arlington is like a bunch of like young professionals, right? Um, and they kind of talk about like bro culture and whatnot. Um,
Yeah, some
somebody up here talking about some I'm hungry. What am I supposed to do about that? It's like looking at the chat, it's like I'm hungry. I'm sorry. I don't know who that is. I mean, they're just complaining about like dating, which I think is hilarious. I mean, we all complain about it. I think if you're in Arlington or the DC area and you're still single, you're going to complain about dating. So
basically, so it sounds like you play some games and y'all dished about men together.
I listened while they dished all men together. No, I I wore like some red pants, and they were talking about like the bro culture in like in Arlington, and they're like, yeah, these bros, they wear like these salmon pants and boat shoes.
And there you were. There you were. For
I
example,
was, according to them, I was not wearing salmon pants, and I don't really have boat shoes, so it's just not me. I'm trying to.
I don't get the boat shoes. Those are not comfortable at all to me.
Yeah, I hang out with like all sorts of people, so I had friends that have boats and they have boat shoes or whatever. So I mean, it's just not for me. That's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not into that in that culture per se. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. They did give me a gift bag. I don't want to leave you, but let's see if I can find it.
Oh yeah, I know you have it. I know you have
I
it.
gotta see if I find it somewhere. Hold on.
I feel like you should have stopped your video, but time out, everyone. Saheed will be back. In the meantime, feel free to ask any questions in the comments.
All right. So I couldn't find the whole. Let me see if I can find it.
All right.
Oh, there it is.
Dude, you live in a box, so it can be like that far away.
Shut up, man. All right, here it is. So they gave me like this bag, right?
Very
this is some food that I that I got, but I haven't eaten yet. I haven't had a chance to. But we also ate some of these. These are like little cookies.
all right.
And I also got this
A little champagne.
I think it's champagne.
Okay.
Yeah. So these ladies are classy. It's classy. So yeah, thank you so much for like the greatest like bridal shower I've ever been to. I'm actually gonna eat one of these little cookies right now. They're actually pretty good.
Just for the record, so yeah, guys don't do bridal showers, right? I mean, we just hang out.
Yeah, we
and
do.
Honestly, I feel like the bridal shower is a reason for you to go and call your friends and be like, "Hey, my lady's out, so what y'all want to do?"
What's funny about that is like the guys are out. So when she told me like I was going to her bridal shower, I thought her dad was gonna be there, but he left with her fiance, and they went out drinking.
So they left you. Dang.
I mean, I was there for the bridal shower. I was there for her, right? So, absolutely. No, Ed, no, it's not. This is not a bourbon drink. Does this look like a bourbon drink to you, Eden? Come on now. No. Yeah. So no. I mean, again, I enjoyed it. I'll definitely do it again for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought it was a good thing, and I'm excited for the wedding and see how that's gonna kind of how that's going to turn out. So yeah.
Well, I mean, let me know how the bachelorette party is then. That's you're in the bridal party, so obviously that's next, right?
Mm-hmm. Talk about the Chippendale dancers.
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to hear about the Chippendale dances. I don't. That you can show your ticket stub on camera, so you let everybody know. I don't need to know any description about the show. I have no interest. I have no interest.
Oh man, that is so funny. Who is this person talking about something? I'm hungry. Get out of here. Who is that?
I think it's Mo.
Oh, this guy.
Like eat food.
Yeah. Get out of here. Yeah. I wonder what did I want to talk to you about? I think like we knew this day was going to be a shorter episode, but I wanted to chat with you about Matrix Revolutions because I've been watching the Matrix series. And there's like that's gonna
just so people know too, before the movie, I know the movie comes out in December, we will be having an in-depth episode about the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
Which I think we should, by the way. Stuff is good. That cookie is good, man. This stuff is good. Sweet.
Okay. Try to chew with your mouth closed. So, what was your question?
That's embarrassing. That's not like it's on the internet or anything. My bad. Yeah, no. So I was watching. So I actually watched the Matrix 1 and Matrix 2 last night, and it was. I mean, it's solid, right? Like they're both like really good movies. I haven't gotten to Matrix 3 yet. I may watch it tonight, like while I'm like trying to get to sleep. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, when that movie came out, right, that really changed like Hollywood. Now I don't know if this next movie is going to be good. I don't know. Like
you never know. All I can say is that I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued too. I'm intrigued too.
A lot of questions because they after the third one, they essentially closed the story out.
Yeah. I thought this at the end of the movie, they said, like the Oracle said, "Oh, will we see Neo again?" And she goes, "I suppose so." That was the end of the Matrix Resolutions movie. So a little bit open-ended.
But I like that though, because it was open-ended for Neo's standpoint, but yeah, on the other side, like for it was like, hey, we reached a truce with the machines. Now we can figure out what to do next. Like to me, it was a great. I love the way it ended. I thought it was a great end. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get into to like the in depth of all of that. So I really enjoyed the first two movies. I think in terms of CGI, it was ahead of its time. So that's one thing also I'm kind of excited for, to see it like catch up and try to do some things amazingly for like 2021. So we'll see. Yeah.
I was watching the clip where he was fighting all the clones. I mean, that don't look like a video game, man.
Yeah.
Cartoon. But even then, like I know that it's all animated, but at the same time, I'm just like, I was riveted just watching on my phone. I was like,
oh. Yeah. No, I watched that last night, and the other night or a couple nights ago, and like you got to understand that's like 2020. No, what am I saying? 2002, I think is when that movie came out, right? And that's a long time ago, right? It's almost 20 years ago, right?
I think was that before. When did we first really start having like Wi-Fi?
That's a good question.
Was the first Matrix out before Wi-Fi?
That's a great question. That's a good question. I am not sure about that.
Because I was watching it, like I've watched the movie over the years. I'm like, at first, like when I was watching the movie, I was like, How's Neo able to do that like without connecting, without jacking in or whatever? Like how's he? I was like, this dude has Wi-Fi. Like later on, I'm like, this dude has Wi-Fi.
Well, it came out in 2003, so it's possible. Um, yeah, I think Wi-Fi was out. Yeah, no, it definitely was out in around 2003 for sure. Um, yeah, for sure. I think it was. I'm sure it was out around 2003. I mean, it had to have been out. So, as in where it's popularized.
I was thinking about because the movie brought up a lot of different points, right? And one of the things that so Keanu Reeves watched the final cut of the new movie recently, and he was like, you basically, 20 years ago, you made something that was, 20 years ahead of his time that would basically inform us on how things would be in 20 years. And he was like, he's saying you've done it again to the director of the movie. So I was just trying to remember what, how things were like 20 years ago.
Well, yeah, I think there's a huge emphasis on the term of choice, right?
Yeah.
And I think we kind of see that happening now in our society, right? And one thing, I mean, we're gonna get. I don't want to get too much into this because we're gonna get super into this.
Oh yeah, I'm watching all three movies again.
Yeah, we're gonna get super into this.
Late November, early December. Yeah.
Yeah. So because one thing I want to talk about for sure is a lot of the religious ramifications of it as well, right? There's a lot of religious, like Trinity, right?
Yeah.
Morpheus is actually I didn't even know this till like a couple of days ago. So Morpheus is like is like God of sleep, right? Or something like that.
God of dreams. Yeah.
God of dreams. The Nebuchadnezzar is an ancient Greek king that's biblical, right? I forgot exactly what it was for. Like a lot of religious symbolism. Lots and lots of religious symbolism. So yeah.
Speaking of the other thing I like about it, well, two things really. The other thing I liked about it was what that I got from it was just like the journey to like find yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your true self. Like there's a self that you present to the world. You go through your everyday, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But deep down, there's there's a real you that either you discover it or you don't.
Yeah.
Right. So
it says know thyself. It's that's part of the third movie that I'll probably watch like very soon. But yeah, no, I'm excited to kind of really kind of delve down and deep into it. Like I feel like movies started changing a little bit when the first Matrix came out because that symbolism and that like deeper meaning or whatever. For me at least, right? Like getting into like the theory of like what the director is thinking and whatnot changed when that movie came out. And I think that's actually
I think when it came out too, right? I mean, you were younger, so you weren't necessarily looking for that. Like when I first saw The Matrix, I'm all about the kung fu. Like it's the amazing thing I've ever seen. I'm not even thinking about all this other stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but it makes me also think about there's actually a series about to come out on Netflix called I think it's called like The Sandman or something like that. It's based off a DC Comics character.
Really?
And it's also on it's in Amazon. Well, Amazon just did like an audio book treatment of it not too long ago. They had like these actors like do the voices and everything. But I think that's something that for a future episode, it's really, really good, deep graphic novel, man. And if you wanted to read it and talk about it, I'd be up for that, like for sure. Or even, I don't know when the TV show comes out. Maybe you can look that up real quick. I don't know when it comes out. It's on Netflix. Okay. Well, we can definitely discuss that too.
Yeah, cool. Let's talk about all that stuff. We gotta talk Shang-Chi, man. You gotta watch that movie.
That will be happening very soon. Yes, I can't wait to talk Shang-Chi because I just watched Birth of a Nation. No, I'm sorry, not Birth of a Nation. I just
Damn,
watched.
damn, what? There,
I just
there is
watched.
another movie called Birth of the Nation that's kind of the opposite of like what like a more modern movie.
It's about the Nat Turner
Yes. Yes.
rebellion. I still want to watch that. No, it's called Birth of the Dragon. It's about Bruce Lee's fight with Juan Jack.
Oh, okay, I've seen that one. It's on Netflix. We
Yeah.
go ahead and watch that. I don't want to like taint your views, though I probably
I saw
already
it.
just did.
I saw it. I
Huh?
saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah. I
Okay.
know it was a very loose interpretation of the historical
Well,
events.
they whitewashed it. They made it about like the white guy. Like you have two great
Yeah.
kung fu masters in
Well,
it, and it's
it
about
was
like the
true
white guy
because
fighting some girl. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So
well, I feel like, was that necessarily the best way to go about it? No, but I think it needed to be told from a third person's perspective, just because like you have these two iconic people,
yeah.
and well, Juan Jack Man I think is still alive, or
No, he passed very
like
recently.
recently, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have him, but you don't have Bruce Lee, and you have like differing accounts of what actually happened that kind of go against one another. So you kind of had to do that a little bit.
Yeah.
Do I think do I think that was the best choice as far as the narrative was concerned? Not really. But I mean, I kind of got into it because it just made, there's a whole myth about Bruce Lee. Let's just like,
Yeah, there is definitely mythicism about Bruce Lee. And if anyone tries to like, kind of denounce that a little bit, like people will like, it's kind of like Jordan being the greatest of all time. Like,
which he is.
there's never going to be the greatest anyone ever because that's just how it is, right? That it is what it is, and that's how you got to accept it. So, I feel it's kind of same thing with like
with Bruce Lee.
But
it was cool because like it made movies like that make me read up on the background of what happened.
So which I did too. We can get into that. So
yeah. He did have a fight with him.
Yes.
And
the accounts are different, right? Because one said the fight lasted 3 minutes, one said the fight lasted 30 minutes, which is nuts. A 30-minute fight is crazy long.
So yeah, his wife was like, he came out, overwhelmed him, and it was over in like 5 minutes. Somebody else was like, yes, he came out strong, but that he tired himself out.
Yeah.
And then they just continued fighting until like no true winner was ever really declared. But I like how the movie kind of used that as a vehicle to show how his thinking or whatever, how he came up with his philosophy about water and what Jeet Kune Do would come to represent, which I thought was.
So I'm going to read a little bit of this here. So I'm looking at Wong Jack-man's Wikipedia page. By the way, he passed away in December 26, 2018. So fairly recently after this movie was released.
Yeah.
And it was said that like Bruce Lee changed his style after this fight.
Yeah.
So according to, this is like a actual like quote from Bruce Lee, says, I got into a fight in San Francisco with a kung fu cat, and after a brief encounter, the son of a bitch started to run. He goes, I chased him like a fool, kept punching him behind his head and back. Soon my fist began to swell from hitting his hard head. And then I realized Wing Chun was not too practical and began to alter my way of fighting.
Right.
Yeah. So there are other encounterments of this as well, but like it is known that he changed his way of fighting after fighting like Wong Jack-man, who I think is Tai Chi master, I think, right? Yeah, Tai Chi master. So
yeah.
Very interesting. By the way, when you watch Shang-Chi, you'll see some Tai Chi and some Wing Chun. So in that movie. So it is actually, again, best fight scenes in the movie. Like they definitely delivered on the fight scenes. Like Like, we haven't had like just a good kung fu like fight scene movie.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and Marvel's fight scenes for the most part are really good, but they're overly chopped a lot, where it's like hard to kind of follow like the action a little bit. Um, but and also Black Widow like didn't like deliver on fight scenes for me, which is unfortunate because if you have like Taskmaster,
yeah,
I think you have the best fight. You watch it, right? Black Widow.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we should freaking review that.
Yeah, we are. We're behind.
Yeah, we'll
You know,
review that maybe next time.
do that
But
week because we're still waiting on. We got some big things coming up. We can do that week after next. We're still going to do
yeah.
the debate on the N word.
Oh yes.
After that, so that it definitely has to be done. We got our in-depth discussion on the Matrix. In time for the movie. So I mean, y'all stay tuned, man. We got some things coming up.
How about Canelo trying to unify the belt?
I hope it happens. I
Huh?
hope I hope it happens.
I hope so too.
And finally, this
Tyson Fury, yes.
and Deontay Wilder fight. Yes, Lord, I've been waiting for that.
Yeah.
I've been waiting because I've seen Wilder training. He doesn't look the same. He does not look the same.
Yeah.
So Fury can talk his stuff and play around if he wants to.
Yeah. We'll see. I
But
I, I mean I'm obviously rooting for Wilder in that one. But yeah, I'm actually excited to see and I'm not even that big into boxing though, but I am excited to see like Canelo try to unify because
yeah,
it doesn't happen often, right? Because there's just
I
so
can't
many
remember
belts.
the last time it was unified. I can't even remember.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know if you saw about the latest skirmish between him and like Khalib. Like what happened? I think I text you guys about it. So
Yeah,
like because they were facing off and Khalib called him a motherfucker, and Canelo doesn't understand. I mean, he's getting better with English, but he obviously doesn't understand the slang,
yeah,
right? So he thought he was talking about his mom, right?
yeah.
So
Why he
that's why he acted the way he acted.
you don't talk about mama. You don't do
Yeah, but you're not. He's not talking about your mom. Like he's
that.
talking about you.
Even if I think you are, right?
Yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear you. All right. Yeah, I think we're at the end of this one. It's going to be a little shorter than normal. I think we're off next week, right?
Yep.
And we'll be back the week afterwards. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
Should be. Should be.
I'll take a little bit of hiatus.
We just said we're going to do a Black Widow review next week.
Yeah, we got to do the Black Widow review. We're late on that. We're very late.
Better late than never, man.
Well, we're also late on
Shang-Chi.
Chung-Chi, so
You know what? Hey, it'll be a double review.
we can do double. We can do a twofer.
That sounds like a plan right there.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that.
Like 300 million something too overseas.
It's done well. It's done very well, and like it forced Disney to kind of change its way of like releasing movies with this COVID time, because it used to release movies and then like do like the digital premiere, but they stopped that, and as a result, it's made a lot of money for the box office, right? So,
So we know
yeah.
that's all.
Come again?
So we know that's all they care about.
Yeah, of course, that's all they care about. Of course, that's all they care about. No, it's a good movie. It's a really really good movie. So, very 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 well done. Great characters. Um, like just great characters. I'm not even gonna try to spoil it. I feel like the more I talk about it,
Yeah, you're gonna
the
want
higher
to.
chance I talk.
No, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch it. It's probably I'll have watched it by Monday.
Okay. Cool. And we'll talk about it in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let this podcast go down so I can get some sleep because I'm kind of tired.
Yeah.
It's been a long week, man.
I
It's been a
know.
long week. All
God.
right. So want to go ahead and close this down?
Oh, I thought that's why I let myself yawn.
Oh shit. Okay, I'll close this down. This is so professional.
This guy.
I'm eating with my mouth full. You're yawning on. Okay. No, yeah, no, thank you guys for watching the Targeted Podcast. Much appreciated. Love you guys. Got some
Like,
got some
right.
activity today. So in the
Yeah.
chat. So that's what's up. Cool. I will see you guys later. Peace.